Oh, you didn't know?
Ocho Cinco, was he a quarterback?
Your ass better call somebody.
He's gone for the touchdown. Caldwell Pope. How about that one, baby?
It's worse entertainment today.
How did he win this game?
I hope this is bleach.
Take the hoop out of the playbook, please. What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the NFL Weekly Matchup, Week 14. Just got off a good week of NFL, some other games. We pretty much got off the week of college football. I'm going to be honest with you. That's mainly what we were focused on this week. Georgia fell. I know we're not talking about college, but I'm more disappointed about that than anything in the NFL. My Saints lost on Thursday night, and nothing's going good for me right now. I mean, both of my teams are falling. It's not going good for you either. You're Clemson and Falcons, whatever. But anyway, so had a good week of NFL, I guess. Preston, how was your week overall, and how was your week watching some NFL football?
Football was really okay this past weekend for the NFL. There wasn't really any intriguing matchups I just had to tune into. I did watch a couple games yesterday. We're keeping an eye on right now Monday Night Football and the Bills and the Patriots playing in that windy situation. I mean, so it's just been a pretty good thing. Like Chris alluded to earlier, college football was definitely the most important football game of the weekend, honestly. But just speaking about the SEC championship game, I think that really was the only one that people really were requiring people had to watch. But besides that, it was just a really good weekend, championship football. You had some pretty good NFL games. So yeah, I mean, it was a good matchup for a lot of teams, and
Yeah, your Falcons kept it a little bit closer than 30-17. That's not bad. About as
closer than the first time.
Yeah, closer than the first time. And it wouldn't been. It really, honestly, wouldn't have been that close if Tom Brady didn't throw that interception in the end zone. The defensive lineman, did you see that? The defensive lineman picked it off. Tom Brady was in Falcons end zone. They're in their own end zone, and the defensive lineman picked it off. But yeah, I didn't know if you saw it. But honestly, there wasn't that many intriguing matchups this week. One that we did see was Detroit getting their first win over Minnesota. Detroit
first official win.
Official win. That's kind of good though. Not to mention anything bad or anything, but they just had that shooting in Michigan, the school shooting or whatever. So a lot of players were playing for that. I know one of the players had one of the kids that died. He had his number on, jersey number on when he played. I can't remember which player it was, but he had wore one of the kids' numbers that died, so that was kind of good. But yeah, Detroit got their first win. That I'm excited for them, even though it came against Minnesota, who's Minnesota's fighting for a playoff spot, not looking too good for them right now. Even though Justin Jefferson did play well, Kirk Cousins didn't play bad either. They kind of sucks for them, but I'm happy for the Lions and happy to see them get their first win. And another thing that happened this week, which could be some controversy here in the future, I want to get your thoughts on it. Even though they played the Jets, Gardner Minshew went 20 for 25, 242 yards, 2 touchdowns. Jalen Hurts is out. What's your thoughts on, is that going to be a quarterback battle, do you think?
I mean, it possibly could be. I mean, I think Jalen Hurts is just more physically capable to run that team's offense.
Mm-hmm.
Gardner Minshew's had his moment. I mean, he definitely has some skill in him, and I think he has the ability to possibly give this a run. I mean, it wasn't only but a couple of years ago he was in the AFC Championship game, correct? With the Titans? No?
Or no, Gardner Minshew?
No, he was with the Jaguars, right?
Yeah, he was with
okay, yeah, so I'm thinking of somebody else. But he still has talent. I think he has an ability to, give it a run. This is the NFL. He's one of the most talented quarterbacks in the world, according to this NFL scouts and stuff. So, I mean, I'm not going to make it a foregone conclusion that he's not going to be the starter when Jalen Hurts is healthy. But if Jalen's healthy, I think this is his job right now.
Gotcha. Also had some other games going on. You had the Chargers and Bengals. Chargers bouncing back in the win. I think I got that pick right, picking that game. I think Preston picked the Bengals. Bengals look good, but kind of fell apart. Chargers got a big lead. I think they were up 24-0, like in the first quarter, and then they ended up making a little bit of a comeback, almost tying the game, but Chargers kind of ran away with it. Towards the end, they kind of let Justin Herbert throw a little bit more, in my opinion. I think they kind of been holding it back the past few weeks. And it looked good to see him out there throwing the ball a lot and playing well, because I think the Chargers are a better team than what they've performed. Rams and Jacksonville had that game. Pittsburgh picking up a big win over Baltimore. Like I said, I don't know if it's the injuries. Any thoughts on the Baltimore Ravens?
Yeah.
You think they're a little overrated?
Well, first off, okay, I needed the Baltimore Ravens to win by 4 for me to win a big bet on Sunday. Okay, I'm not. These analytics kill me, man. They really kill me. I don't know why in that situation. Okay, I don't know why you said, hey, this is the moment we're going to give Lamar Jackson full reign, and let's see if we can't get it in here on the 2 and take the lead and win this game. No, you kick the field goal the point after, take it to overtime, get the ball on the first possession, and score a touchdown. You win, you're happy. I win, I'm happy. It's a good day. So I hope the Ravens lose every game for the rest of the season. I honestly do, and I hope nothing but bad things from the franchise. I never hope you never see another Super Bowl. I lost $200, and that's all I need to know, that I'm never going to pull for you ever again.
What a selfish man. Selfish man. I would say the Ravens are overrated in my opinion. I've been saying it. I don't even know if I picked the Ravens to win the division. I think I picked the Browns to win the division, which is not looking too hot either. But I said in the beginning of our preview before we even started the NFL season, I thought the Ravens were a little overhyped. They look good, but I don't think they're going to have enough to do it. They got too many injuries. Their defensive backs kind of showed this week. When Big Ben, I think Big Ben played pretty well. He went 21 for 31, but Deontay Harris, 2 touchdowns, 105 yards. And they kind of struggled there. But yeah, the Steelers are not a good team either, I don't think. So the Ravens, that was kind of a big loss for them. So hopefully, maybe they can bounce back. I'm not a Ravens fan, so I'm kind of glad to see them lose. You also had the Seahawks get a big win over a much-needed win. The 49ers needed. 49ers trying to stay in the playoff hunt. Thought that was interesting. I didn't think Seattle was going to win, even though I did. Somebody that won me some money the other day, and we will get back to him in a minute. George Kittle, 181 yards, 2 touchdowns, won me some money. Sorry, you didn't win no money, but he won.
He was on my fantasy team.
He won me some money on DraftKings. I played Kittle on everything. He was the highest fantasy score on the day. Even though a lot of tight ends scored very well, so I was happy to see him. Kansas City won last night over Denver. No shocker. No shocker there, even though Javonte Williams from Carolina, you remember seeing him at North Carolina? Javonte Williams, you watch him? He might be getting that starting job here. 23 attempts, 102 yards. Glad to see him play well.
They did just fire the Panthers just fired their offensive coordinator too. So not looking good for that whole franchise.
Oh yeah, well he's on Denver, but yeah, I know what you're talking about, Carolina.
No, I just completely
because I said North Carolina. You're good. Yeah, you confused me a little bit, but yeah, Williams did go. He had 76 yards receiving and a touchdown too. So hopefully he'll get the job. He's splitting carries right now with Melvin Gordon, but Melvin Gordon was out, so hopefully he'll get the job there. But yeah, nothing really else to talk about. Miami and then Indianapolis, and then Cowboys and Saints on Monday night. Taysom Hill. We got to find this quarterback. I love Taysom Hill to death, but he is not a starting quarterback. I love him. I know you said Preston said he looked terrible. He did. He's playing hurt.
He had like 3 40-yard runs, didn't he?
Yeah. No, I love that. I love that about him, but I do not think, and you probably agree with this, he's not a quarterback.
No, he's like a slot.
And you know what? He is what – not really a slot. If Cam Newton went to Tampa Bay and kind of just played kind of like Taysom Hill. But I know it's not their offense, but if instead of Brady running a QB sneak, or instead of Brady throwing it in, they have Cam Newton to be able to do a QB power or something in there, that would be a kind of a good fit for like a Cam Newton being a Taysom Hill or somebody, because he's not a starting quarterback no more. I'm sorry. I don't think Cam Newton's a great quarterback no more. Could be wrong, but I just don't think he's going to be much of a starter. I think he should do something like that and be a quarterback kind of like Taysom Hill. He could – and that could help a team. He could get a Super Bowl with Tampa Bay. I don't know. I just think that's an idea. Anyway, let's go ahead and get into the next thing here, the player of the week. I know we talked about it a little bit. Who is your player of the week, Preston?
The guy that I'm going to take for my player of the week, it's got to be Jared Goff. He went 25 of 41. So, he's just, he did okay. 296 yards, 3 touchdowns, and 1 interception. Now, these aren't really like overly, perfect numbers or anything like that. But honestly, it's just because he wasn't a detriment to the team. I think he honestly just did what he needed to do, and they got the job done in a close victory over the Minnesota Vikings. I think that's just, it's just impressive they actually were able to get a win this year so far. Previously, they were sitting at 10-1.
Yeah.
So to get their first win of the season, now I don't think if you're a Detroit fan, you want to win any more games. I think you want to sit and lose everything. I don't think they're in any threat of losing the number one pick in the draft, but you still in a situation, okay, good. We got that thing off our back and everything. We've won a game. Let's lose everything else the rest of the season. Let's just make it look competitive and, learn some stuff, get our coach some experience, get this team some experience, and we'll see you next year and hopefully play more competitive.
Gotcha. Yeah. One thing I want to say, and Jared Goff, his numbers weren't great. They were good, but weren't, crazy. But I think if you watch that game, he played very well, in my opinion. And they got Josh Reynolds on the team now. That kind of helped him. You noticed at the Thanksgiving game, he used to play for the Rams, and that was one of Jared Goff's favorite targets. So good to see that he actually got a receiver he's familiar with. And another player you could have gave it to on that team was St. Brown, Amon St. Brown. He used to play for Green Bay, I believe. He went 10 receptions, 86 yards and a touchdown. So he played, he was one of the top receivers for Jared Goff. But the guy I'm giving it to, I've already mentioned him, George Kittle. Help me win some money. They didn't get the win, but, I thought he played the best on the day. With Deebo Samuel out, he went 9 receptions, 181 yards, and 2 touchdowns. So, that's very good for a tight end. He pretty much plays receiver. Also had 5 rushing yards. Who cares about that? But no other receiver on the team really did anything, even though they lost to Seattle on a much-needed win. That was good performance by George Kittle. All right, let's go ahead and get into the games here. Upcoming games. Josh is not here, by the way. If you are watching, I didn't mention it. I did say did I even say the records on the week? I don't think I did.
I don't think you did.
I don't think I did either. We got all in it, but the records on the week, I don't think I did mention it. I think I missed that part. I went 9-4, like always, in the lead. I don't know. I didn't write down the totals. I'll get back to that next week. I forgot to write it. Preston had his first good week overall, 8-5. Even though you missed the show last week, looked like he did pretty well. Josh had a winning, but he kind of dropped some, 7-6. So yeah, I'm pretty sure I'm still up by a good bit there. Sorry, guys. But we'll go ahead and get into the upcoming games. Maybe you guys can get something going. Here we go. Thursday night, Steelers at the Vikings. Vikings favored by 3.5. I'll let you go first, Preston. Who are you going with?
Steelers and the Vikings. The Vikings have played miserable. I wouldn't say played miserable, but they're not winning a lot of games. They're 5-7. The Steelers are coming off a victory over their rivals, the Ravens. They shouldn't have won. Plus 3.5. Give me the Steelers. I think they can get it done.
Gotcha. Yeah, I'm gonna go with the Vikings at home here. They need a win. They haven't looked great, but they have the talent, man. They got Jefferson. They got actually Thielen might be out, so that's kind of gonna hurt them a little bit. But they got Osborne. They got a couple other receivers over there. They still got Dalvin Cook's out too. They still got Madison though. I think Madison's still a good running back, and they got another running back that I think's halfway decent. Tight end Conklin. He played pretty well the other day. I don't know. I think they need this, and I think they're at home. If you've seen Vikings fans, I think 3.5 might be a bit much. I think it could be the Vikings by 3. That's what kind of scares me. And Steelers, I'm not a believer in the Steelers, even though they beat the Ravens. Not a believer in the Ravens either. Big Ben, I think he announced it's going to be his last year. Thank God. He's not good anymore, in my opinion. I'm ready to see what that offense can do with a good quarterback. But I'm going to take the Vikings minus 3.5. Josh will send his picks later in the week, so we'll get those. Next game, Sunday, Cowboys at Washington. Cowboys favored by 5.5. I'll go first on this one. I'm going to take Washington at home. Cowboys haven't looked great for me. Washington's been playing okay. Could be, Cowboys need to get hot right now if they want to contend for the NFC. But why this is going to be, I think this is going to be a dogfight. I think 5.5. I could see this being like a 3-point game either way. I think it's going to be a close game. But give me Washington at home.
Yeah, you don't need to come to me too long because I definitely don't think this is Washington's played some really good football in the last couple of weeks. They've won some games they really shouldn't have won. They're just playing really good, tough football. They're not putting up, crazy numbers, but then again, they really don't have to when they're winning the way they have won the last couple of weeks. They're 500. looking to break that monotony and go 7-6 this upcoming week. Give me Washington minus 5.5.
Yeah, I mean, I could see this game being a blowout too for the Cowboys. Cowboys need to make a statement here. They need to get ahead of Washington and kind of pull away from them. But Washington also needs to win, and they're at home. And I just think their defense has been playing better these last few weeks. Next game, Niners at the Bengals. Bengals coming off the loss, so are the Niners coming off some tough losses. Bengals favored by 1.5. Who are you going with in this one?
49ers and the Bengals. The Bengals are favored by 1.5. They both need this game, very important for their playoff hopes. I think they're both coming off tough losses. Who wants it more? I think if this game was in San Francisco, I might take San Francisco. But because it's in Cincinnati, I think that's the extra motivation it's going to give me to take the Bengals in this, minus 1.5.
Yeah, this is a tough game for me, really tough game because I like the 49ers. My dad's a Niners fan, and I've always liked some players on there. I like Kittle. My dad's a Niners fan. Sorry. Hey, that's let's give him a round of applause. That's the first time you got me. Hey, tap your hat. That's the first time you got me on that one. Yeah, you got me on that one. I give it to you. You got me that time for the first time. He did give me. But no, my dad, I'll go ahead and say it even though you don't care. My dad is a Niners fan, and I do like Kittle. I like the running game over there. Not so much the quarterback. I like Garoppolo, but I liked him more in the Patriots system than I did at the 49ers.
When you didn't have to be the star guy. It's pretty easy when you're behind Tom Brady.
Well, no, I mean, he played. Yeah, but he played good. No, when he started, when Brady was out, though.
Yeah.
He looked pretty good. But so did Jacoby Brissett, too. So, I mean, who knows?
There was a short period of time where, man, Jacoby Brissett might be the next upcoming
Mac Jones. Everybody's saying Mac Jones. And Mac Jones, he's just game manager, man. Game manager. Yeah. I don't know where I'm going to go with this. It's pretty much a pick 'em, 1.5 Bengals favored. I could lose this week. I could definitely lose some games. I think the Bengals are the better team, but I'm going to go with the 49ers plus 1.5. Next game, Jaguars at the Titans. Titans favored by 10.5. I'm going to pick first here since Preston picked first last time. I think this is a tough line because I don't know who's all in for the Titans. I wish I knew. I'm not sure on who is all in. Do you have an injury report?
Julio Jones is on IR. Dane Cruzeshank is on IR, and Racy Matthews.
So we'll have A.J. Brown. I expect A.J. Brown to have a big day. 10.5, I think that's a bit much. Jacksonville did beat the Titans last time. Didn't they beat them last time, Jacksonville?
If I'm not mistaken, they definitely did.
I believe they beat them last time. 10.5.
No, they lost 37-19.
37-19, they lost. Okay. Well, maybe that was a different team. Maybe they lost to the Jets or something, I think. Yeah, I just think that's too much for the Titans, as banged up as they are. Give me Jacksonville plus 10.5. Who are you going with?
Well, I'm going to make up some ground on you right there because there is no changing the pick once you set it on live. Not live, but on the air. Because I definitely just think the Titans, I think they're going to take care of business because this team, the Jaguars, are rough. I mean, they show up some weeks and then some weeks they just completely don't. I'm not really sure. I mean, they just lack of talent is what it is, lack of coaching as well. Bryson, I think, could tell us all we need to know about Urban Meyer and his coaching and everything like that and his character. So give me the Titans minus 10.5.
Gotcha. Next game here, we got the Raiders at the Chiefs. Chiefs favored by 8.5. Who are you going with in this one?
I'm going with the Chiefs minus 8.5. I think at home, this game makes sense. They're playing better football as of lately. They're getting more healthy as of lately. The Raiders have so many issues still they're dealing with. They've had a lot to overcome this season. They're on the road. And I just think it's hard to win in Arrowhead. And I just think that, they're going to end up opening this game up towards the end. So the Chiefs minus 8.5, right?
Yep. Yeah, this was. I mean, I'm going to take the Chiefs as well. It was a little tough for me because it's a division game. I've seen some of the divisional games being a little bit closer. Chiefs defense has been playing better these last couple of weeks. Their offense has actually struggled. The Raiders, I think, can compete with them. They just lost Kenyon Drake, their other running back. Yeah, I think I'm going to take the Chiefs though. 8.5. I think it'll probably be about 10, but give me the Chiefs. Next game, Seahawks at the Texans. Seahawks favored by 8.5. Who you going with?
Seahawks and
Actually, I'll go first on this one because I forgot you make it fair. I'll go first. I don't think the Seahawks be favored by 8.5 over anybody. I don't think they've been playing that great, even though they beat the Niners. I just don't think they've been that great. I could be totally wrong. Neither are the Texans. Tyrod Taylor hasn't looked good. None of the Texans have really looked great at all. But I don't know. I just don't think the Seahawks are that good. I don't think they should be favored by 8.5 over anyone in the NFL. Give me the Texans at home. Who are you going with?
I'm going to differ with you again. I think the Seahawks are going to be able to take care of it. This team right now, the Texans, I mean, it's the same thing that I said about some other teams as well. They show up some weeks, and some weeks they just completely do not show. I mean, they got absolutely waxed by the Colts. Absolutely waxed, 31-0. And, I mean, obviously the Colts are a better team than both of these teams. But I like, the Seahawks coming off of that. They still got Russell Wilson. Hopefully that experience gives them the edge to win this game. Minus 8.5. So that's what I'm going to go with.
And it does look like David Mills. I didn't get to watch the game against the Colts, but Davis Mills did get some snaps. I'm not sure if Tyrod got hurt or if they're just starting Davis Mills. Not sure. I didn't mind Davis Mills when he played, but we'll see where that goes. Either way, I think I'm going to take the Texans. I'm just not a believer in the Seahawks. Next game, let's go to my Saints at the Jets. Saints minus 6.5. God, they shouldn't be favored by 6.5 over anyone either. Preston, who are you going with?
This is tough. It really is. Kind of determine which team shows up for the Saints.
I absolutely agree with you there. I could definitely see
who shows up. If the team that shows up, Taysom's able to, play good, I think they're able to open this up.
I think it depends on who shows up for the Jets too. They did just lose one of their receivers though, Corey Davis. I don't think he played anyway last week. But
Deontay Harris, one of the last 3 receivers
that's a big deal
the
too.
Saints have suspended for disciplinary actions.
I didn't think about that.
So what's the line on this again?
6.5, minus 6.5 for the Saints. I honestly hope the Saints lose.
Give me the Jets plus 6.5. I don't know. I mean, there's just so much going on right now. Both of these teams, this is a tough game to pick because, like you said, neither of these teams should be favored by 6.5 points. This should be a straight pick 'em. I know the records say otherwise, 5-7 and 3-9.
I don't think it should be a pick 'em. I think it should probably be about 4. I would say 3 to 4. I don't know.
No, either way, give me the Jets plus 6.5.
Yeah, you guys can gain some ground on me this week. I don't know. I'm just not a fan of the Jets. Jets are at home, but Saints need a win, man. Taysom Hill, after an embarrassing week, I think if he started, I'm guessing he's starting. I think he's going to come out and have a hell of a game this week against the Jets. The one team that struggles against the run, even though they've been good in years past, they haven't done well this week. Done well this year against the run. I think Taysom Hill should have a good game. And I'm going to take the Saints minus 6.5 on the road. Next game, Falcons at the Panthers. Panthers favored by 3.5. Tough game for me here. McCaffrey's out for the season. They got Chuba Hubbard. God, these are some tough games this week. Even though I think the Panthers are a better team. Did the Falcons beat them last time, didn't they? Or no? No, Panthers ended up beating them, but close. It was close for a while though.
Yes, because I was at that game.
So that's one thing that I don't think the Panthers are going to go 2-0 against them. Give me Atlanta on the road.
And for that same reason, I'm going to go with you there. I think the Falcons, they got Cordero Patterson
back. That's a big.
Yeah,
piece.
I think that this should be the difference maker in this game. And honestly, it's whatever team. Whatever direction these teams want to go in at this point. Are you tanking at this point? 5-7. Technically, you're still technically in the hunt. I don't know. It just really depends on what you think your team can do, and where you think you're going to be heading. So give me the Falcons plus 3.5.
They had some sparks last week. I mean, the Falcons had some sparks last week against Tampa Bay.
The Falcons have an average offense in the NFL. I think they really do. They can
when they want to. I would say when they want to. Sure. Sometimes they don't look too hot. Sometimes they look
when
terrible.
they scheme correctly.
Yeah. And the Panthers, I think it depends on what Cam Newton shows up. If Cam Newton's starting, I don't know. I think it could go either way, but give me Atlanta since they're getting the points. Next game, Ravens at the Browns. Browns favored by 1.5. That's kind of surprising. Browns at home. Who are you going with in this? Or yeah, you picked. You pick. Sorry, you pick next.
Well, for the simple fact that the Ravens screwed me last week or this past couple week, I hope the Browns win -1.5. They're the home team. I hope they win. I hope the Ravens never win another game in the history of their franchise. So I'm going to pick against them.
Okay.
Just simply because I lost money on them, I'll never pick them again.
So you'll never. So
I'll never pick them
even
again.
if they play Jacksonville, you're not going to pick. I mean, you're probably out of it anyway, but you're never picking the.
I'm never going to pick them.
Never going to pick them again.
Never going to pick them.
That's a bold statement. I was looking at the last game. They just played recently. The Ravens won 16-10. Ravens been good against the run. I don't know what's it looking like of the Browns coming off a bye week. Not a fan of
much
the
needed bye week to get all their players healthy.
Yeah, and the Browns. I mean, the Ravens haven't looked good. I think I don't know if they had a bye. If they haven't, they need that bye week here soon. I think they have. I think they've had to have had a bye week anyway. I'm trying to see if they have. I think they did. I don't see one. Anyway, I'm going to take the Browns as well. I'm just not a believer in the Ravens. Definitely think the Ravens could win this game, but Ravens won the first one. I don't know. It's a divisional game, so I'm going to take the Browns -1.5. Next game, Lions at the Broncos. Broncos favored by 8.5. Lions coming off a big win. Broncos coming off a loss against the Chiefs on Sunday Night Football. I'm hoping Javonte Williams can get a start here, but against the Lions, I think you should have another big day, a big fantasy day. So if you do play fantasy, make sure you start Javonte Williams if he's starting and Melvin Gordon is out. -8.5. I just don't think the Broncos should be favored by 8.5 over anybody really. And I'm going to say that I've been saying that a lot there at home, but Lions played a little bit better. Give me the Lions +8.5.
I could not disagree with you there, sir. I think you said everything correctly there. I think the Lions have played a lot of teams close, a lot of teams tough this season. They're coming off their first win. I think they're going to, play very good. I don't think they win this game. I think they keep it close.
Yeah.
This game really means more to the Broncos right now than it does the Lions, clearly, because technically the Broncos still have everything in front of them. Slim chance, but, it's still a chance. But like you were saying, I mean, I definitely could see this game getting out of hand for the Lions too, because the Broncos, they could open it up and they try to come after them. But as of right now, I like the Lions.
And I don't expect this to be a high-scoring game either. Lions did get some receiver, like I said. Jared Goff got a connection now with Josh Reynolds, and he's got a connection with a couple other receivers coming off a big win. But the Broncos, Broncos could use a win if they. I don't even think they're in it no more. They're not in it, but they want the win at home. But I just think that's too many points. I expect it to be somewhere three points, maybe a touchdown. I don't think it's going to be 8.5. Next game, Giants at the Chargers. Chargers favored by 10.5. Who are you going with? One thing I will say, I don't know who is starting at quarterback for the Giants. So I was looking here. I don't know if I want to get word. Go ahead and talk about it, but
I like the Chargers here. The Giants they're just a bad team. I mean, that's just as simple as it can be. The Chargers, they have some really good weeks. They beat the Chiefs. They win last week. I mean, they just have good weeks, and then they have some, abysmal weeks as well. I like them here in this matchup. I think 10.5 I don't think it's that close. I really don't. I think Justin Herbert and Mike Williams are able to connect a couple more times this week, put some points on the board. So I like the Chargers to cover, and making it 10.5 points is fine with me.
Yeah, so it's looking like Daniel Jones is doubtful again, but also Mike Glennon is questionable after diagnosed with a concussion. So do you know what that means? Do you know who's the third string? Any idea?
Mike Glennon?
No, he's got questionable. So do you know who the third string is for the Giants? Any idea?
Yeah, should I know?
Yes.
Should I know?
You definitely should know. I mean, I think he got signed recently. He hasn't played much in that. He hasn't. I don't know if he's even played it. He hasn't started in the NFL yet. I give it right away if I tell you what college team he
What
played
conference? Or just tell me the college team. I probably still
for.
won't.
He
get
played
it.
in the SEC. Can I tell you that?
Yeah.
No, well-known college quarterback.
In the SEC recently.
Didn't win a national championship. Lost against Alabama a few times.
And really?
No. Well,
Wait.
I say a few times, but Jake Fromm.
Yeah, I'm about to say Jake.
Yeah,
I thought he was with the Bills. Oh, that's right. He just
No,
gets.
he got signed. He's with the Giants.
I actually have his signed jersey in my car right now.
So that could help you a lot because he might get the start. He's preparing for his first NFL start Sunday against the Chargers.
The price just went up, ladies and gentlemen.
So
Hit me
that's
up with
big.
your jersey needs.
And I'm not a believer, and I am a believer in the Chargers. I do like the Chargers. Not a believer in the Giants. God, I wish I could see Jake Fromm. I'd love to see Jake Fromm win this game. And the Giants, it's 10.5.
Let's see if I can pick him up on my fantasy team.
I'm going to go ahead and go with I'm going to go. Does that change your pick at all? I'll let you change it. No? Okay. Chargers at home. Give me the Chargers minus 10.5, even though I think the Giants could give them a run for their money, and I think it could be a touchdown. Next game, your Super Bowl right here, Preston. Bills at Bucks. Buccaneers minus 3.5.
Bills and the Bucks.
Who are you going with?
Bills and the Bucks. Who's favored?
Bills favored by 3.5.
I did say this is my Super Bowl, didn't I?
Yes.
And the game's played where?
It is played at the Buccaneers in Tampa Bay.
Oh, give me the Bucks. Give me the Bucks minus 3.5. I like this matchup just because of the location.
Mm-hmm.
The Bills are playing really good right now, but they're also losing to the Patriots at home in conditions that should be favorable to them. Even though I know New England plays in these same kinds of conditions, but you're home.
Yeah,
you should have some kind of advantage there. I think the Bucks are starting to kind of piece it back together. Everybody's starting to get healthy. Everybody's starting to play better. Yeah. And for that reason, I'm gonna take the Bucks minus 3.5.
I don't know. I just think this is it's going to be a needed win, especially if the Bills lose this game. If they want to get that number one in the AFC. And I don't know. The regular season, I see the Buccaneers, even though it's towards the end, I see the Buccaneers kind of cruising a little bit. And I don't know. I see them losing a close game. I see the Bills beating them at home. Give me the Bills. I might take the Bills outright, but give me the Bills plus 3.5. Next game, Bears at the Packers. Packers favored by 12.5. Sunday Night Football. I don't even know why this is. I think it's Sunday Night Football. I don't know why.
12.5.
12.5. That's a lot of points. Packers have looked good.
Is Aaron Rodgers going to play?
Oh, I believe. Why was he hurt or something?
He has a toe problem, I think.
Well, if he doesn't play, Jordan Love's got COVID, so
that would definitely throw that whole thing for a loop.
So I don't know what the deal is there. Did the Packers have a bye week?
They just come off one.
They just come off a bye week. I don't know. This is a conference game, 12.5. I don't like it. It's Sunday Night Football. That's too many points for Sunday Night Football for me. Give me the Bears on the road. Plus what Aaron Rodgers did to the Bears last time after showing, kind of saying, he was, what did he say on the side? He yelled something to the Bears. He said, I own you. So I don't know. Bears should come out and play hard. So give me the Bears. Who you going with?
I'm gonna roll with the Packers. They're 10-2 against the spread this year. I think if they've got Aaron Rodgers, this is completely on if they have Aaron Rodgers.
Good question. You know where one of those twos are from, right?
Huh?
You know where one of those twos are from, right? You said they're 10-2 against the spread. Do you know where one of those twos are from?
No.
The Saints, week 1, baby. They blew them out.
Oh.
Sorry.
I was like, well, I didn't know what you meant by when you said one of those twos. I was like, what do you mean one of the twos?
No.
Yeah, that's right. That's when I thought Aaron Rodgers had quit on the Packers.
And that's when my buddy, the dude I bowl with, bet the Saints to win the Super Bowl. He bet $500.
I bet he wishes he had that money back
to win 11,000. Yeah, he's the older guy, but he's got plenty of money. He's not worried about it.
Yeah, so I like the Packers here. It is a divisional game. I think it'll be close in the beginning of the game. I think by the end of it, they should be able to pull away. So I like the Packers minus 12.5.
All right, last game, Monday Night Football. What a game we got here. This game means a lot here. Rams at the Cardinals. Cardinals favored by 3.5. I could argue it should be more the way the Rams been playing. Who are you going with in this one?
I'm going to go to the Cardinals -3.5. They are playing great. They're one of the best teams in the NFL. They're home. I think that makes a difference into it. The Rams, they have acquisitions. They've picked up players. They should, on all aspects, be the best team in the NFL. Odell Beckham Jr., they've got that defense, Von Miller and all those guys. They should be the best of the best.
Mm-hmm.
They have not figured it out yet.
Yep.
And I don't know if this is the week to still try to piece it all together, because you need to piece these things against weaker opponents like the Titans or the Jaguars or someone like that, the Giants or some of that, but not the Cardinals. I think the Cardinals got everything rolling for them right now. I think they don't. I don't think they blow this team out of the water, but I think they probably win by 8 or so. So -3.5. That seems real good to me. I like the Cardinals here.
I'd agree with you, but I don't know. I just think this Rams, they're in the wild card. I think they need this win. I think they really, could use this win. They want this win somehow. I don't think they're going to win the division, but, it still could be possible if the Cardinals go on a losing streak. But they want to make sure they get that wild card. I don't know. I'm taking the Rams. I don't know. They need this win to prove themselves. Cards are favored by -3.5. Rams haven't looked great, but I just think the time is now. Towards the end of the season, they got to start looking good if they want to. They got to prove that all these moves, mean something. And with Odell, getting these last few games, getting more snaps, that kind of helps. And then Von Miller, I don't know if Von Miller. I haven't paid attention much to the defense. I know he's there, but I don't know if he's hurt or whatnot. I haven't heard too much about him. But yeah, I just think it's time for them to get gelled and start winning some games. So give me the Rams. All right, well, I think that's going to end it. We'll be back next week for the, week 15. We're focused on the college right now because the bowls and stuff. But these next few weeks will be in the NFL because college won't be going on until later on. But we do have to do our poll pick'em show, so we'll still be into that for next week. But yeah, appreciate you watching. See you next week. Peace.